Okay, so that's the Ender 3 all assembled. Kind of try to show a few different parts and kind of explain what's going on here. So, I mean, obviously it's a 3D printer, so this thing will print off a 3D object, and we can kind of see the detail if I can focus in here. You can see it's got pretty decent detail. I mean, you can see the eyebrows and the eyeballs and stuff like that, so pretty happy with it. If we look at the bottom, we'll kind of see, I don't know if it'll focus enough, but you should be able to see like kind of a mesh, and that'll give you an idea of just how the extruder kind of how it prints. So it's gonna print the insides kind of as a mesh. But all in all, pretty basic setup. We got a couple bars here, kind of secures everything down. These are great because you can like secure bolts right inside of them. You got these T-bolts that'll fit inside of there, so you don't have to disassemble anything. I can just kind of fit these nice little nuts in there. It's a it just makes things easier. Power supply right there. I'll kind of switch it on right now. Kind of show the on screen. So it boots up. Here we got a few things. So here you can see the nozzle, and that's the bed. At the bottom we got the real-time temperatures. So right now it's sitting around 28 degrees Celsius. Up top would be our setting, what we want to set the temperature to. Here we got the flow rate. So I think the flow rate is basically like how fast the wire will, the polymer will flow through into the extruder that'll eventually melt it, which is important too. So I'll just kind of zoom into the extruder. Ooh, shit, got to be careful there. Put my finger into the fan. But right underneath here, this thing can, if you can see it, that little dot, I'll try to focus in here. And that'll heat up to about 220 degrees Celsius. And the polymer that's being fed into it, it gets fed in over here. So we got this gear, and that'll just kind of clamp onto, focus in there, it'll clamp onto the polymer and feed it through the tube. That'll get fed to the extruder, and that's how it prints. So we got a couple axes, XYZ axis here, and the bed will move forward and back like that. The extruder will move left and right, and also up and down. So basically, the printer is using like a two-dimensional plane, and then with the bed moving, it can make 3D objects, I guess. So that's pretty cool, how that all gets translated. So you got the microcontroller that's in here. This is the LCD display. You got a little controller under there for the LCD. I don't know, that's basically it. The bed is heated, which is awesome because from what I've heard, just makes pulling your 3D objects off of the plate a lot easier without damaging things and stuff like that. So didn't really know a lot about that. This big handle here is just to put the spool onto, so you'll have a big spool that feeds onto that, and the spool just kind of goes right into that feed, and then this will move back and forth. So I guess I can kind of show that if I go onto the LCD, we can, it's already set at home, but I'll move the axis. So I'll just move one of the axes here so we can see the extruder is now moving as I dial this knob. And so there's a couple features. I mean, you can control it. There's some stuff that I would like to be maybe better, such as like when you have to when you have to replace a new I guess you call it polymer, when you have to put the new feed in, you have to take this one out. So there's other ones where you have a direct feed. So this is basically attached right onto the extruder. It's got a double-sided gear that'll just pull it a lot better. So I guess some people with 3D printing, they've mentioned issues about having, it's kind of like a fishing line. So it's like if your fishing line isn't properly wound up, it can get caught, and if you're casting out, it'll kind of catch your fishing line. So that'll eventually mess up, and you would see like it would destroy your whole 3D print, and you got to start over really at that point. So whatever you can do to kind of avoid it. So if we kind of zoom in here, you'll see like we got these linear rails, well, right here, and then right here, and then also right here. I'll try to show, so right there, there, and there. So these linear rails, this one's belt fed, this is belt, but this linear rail is actually running on a rod, and that'll have I think it just gives it a lot more precision when it's going up. So it's not going to be so jerky, and I think that's what it's supposed to do. It's just a little bit more accurate, because going left and right doesn't need to be quite as accurate as each layer that's kind of topped on top of each other as it prints on top of up, like more up and up. Well, before I keep stuttering anymore, that's that. This is the Extruder 3, and pretty happy with it. Peace out.